to the Total Health and Fitness Podcast. I'm your host, Adam Richmond. All right, today is episode 1 of the Total Health and Fitness Podcast. And on today's episode, I just want to break down the structure of the podcast, discuss a little bit about me, my education, my background, my current role as a online health and fitness coach. And then I want to talk about the mission of the podcast. Why did I decide to start this podcast, and what can you expect in 2023 from the Total Health and Fitness Podcast? I want to share my mantra for 2023 with you, and then we'll touch on a few topics that I want to cover and review throughout the podcast, and hopefully get a little bit of feedback from you all on what type of information is, one, valuable to you, and then useful, and then actionable, right? I want you to be able to actually take the information that I'm giving you and use it in your everyday life, right? All right. So I want to spend a few minutes and give you a little bit of information about me. So again, my name is Adam Richmond. I'll be your host for the Total Health and Fitness Podcast. And I want to give you a little bit of background on my education. So I started my education at Lock Haven University, where I received a bachelor's in science degree with a concentration on athletic training. I then went on to get my master's of science degree in advanced athletic training. So when you think athletic training, I don't want you to think about like a personal trainer or a horse trainer or some other type of just normal trainer. Athletic training, the title or the profession, is a allied healthcare provider. So I spent the last 15 years as a healthcare provider, as an athletic trainer in the Division III collegiate setting. So I worked at Dickinson College, working primarily in the beginning of my career with football and lacrosse athletes, and then later in my career, still working with lacrosse, but also field hockey, and have been able to dabble in all the sports that Dickinson offered. So they had over 23 collegiate athletic experiences. So swimming, baseball, softball, squash, all your traditional sports, and was able to dabble in a little bit of all of those. But again, my primary focus was on football, men's lacrosse, and field hockey over the years. So my role as an athletic trainer, for those who don't know, athletic trainers are those folks that run out onto the field when people are injured, right? So that's what you see on TV, or what you may be familiar with from the sidelines. But that's not exactly what we do day to day. So from day to day, my role as an athletic trainer at the collegiate setting was to, evaluate, assess, diagnose, and then treat and rehabilitate athletic injuries. That could be, an ankle sprain, ACL tear, a hamstring pull, your general orthopedic injuries, but also being well versed and knowledgeable in the areas of just health in general, general medical conditions, heart disease, obesity, diabetes, all these other just health metrics or health related topics. Athletic trainers need to know enough information about them that we feel comfortable being able to identify a problem and refer them to the right specialist to find care. So again, as an athletic trainer in the last 15 years, I've really been able to understand the healthcare system. I've been in the middle of it. I've been, able to navigate the orthopedic side of things, as well as the general medical conditions, as well as everything in between, as different athletes throughout the last 15 years have come through the collegiate setting, and have had different problems that I've had to deal with. And at the Division III setting, we don't have all the resources, or we didn't have all the resources that you might think of whenever you're thinking of a big, like Penn State, Ohio State, D1 program, where they have a nutritionist, strength conditioning coach, an athletic trainer, a physical therapist, a doctor, a psychologist, all of these different people filling these roles and maximizing the health and wellness and performance of these athletes. We didn't have that. So I took it upon myself to learn all of these roles and wear those hats as an athletic trainer, so that I could help my athletes maximize their performance, as well as, stay healthy prevent injury, and just live a happy and healthy life, even, after college, right? So we get them for 4 years, or you get them for 4 years. Not only did I want to influence their 4 years while they're with me, but I wanted to influence their entire life, set them up for success, start them with good habits of fitness and health early, in their collegiate career, so that way they can carry those throughout their life. So that's what I spent the last 15 years doing. So, again, bachelor's degree in health science with concentration on athletic training, master's degree in advanced athletic training. And then I went on to, again, spend the last 14 years plus as an athletic trainer at Dickinson College, working with collegiate athletes. While I was there, so I would say right before the pandemic, probably late 2019, early 2020, I started to dabble in providing online health and fitness coaching, while I was still working at Dickinson. At the beginning of that role, I just wanted to be able to make a little bit of extra money to be able to supplement my travel fund, right? Love to snowboard, love to travel, love to go on vacations with my family. So I just wanted to make a little bit of extra money. And so I started um, coaching online. So helping people lose weight, get fit, increase their performance, get healthy, lower their cholesterol, lower or increase their insulin sensitivity, all the health and fitness topics that I'm going to dive into on this podcast. I've been helping clients achieve those goals over the last, 4 years, as an online health and fitness coach. So today, what I am currently doing. So in the spring of 2022, so this past spring, I decided to retire from athletic training and go full time as an online health and fitness coach. And I haven't looked back. It's been an absolute game changer. I absolutely love what I'm doing and am able to just help people in an entirely new and different way, and really, really enjoying helping clients, patients, parents, adults lose weight, get fit, have more energy, be in a better mood, have more confidence, just all of these just qualities that I know you want and need. And to be able to play a role in you being able to do that has been super rewarding. And I absolutely have loved the role, or the change in my role. So again, I think I touched a little bit on my education. I talked a little bit about my work background as an athletic trainer. And now that I am no longer working as an athletic trainer, I am full time as a health and fitness coach online. A few of my hobbies, I absolutely love to go snowboarding. That is one of probably my most passionate things that I do. Um, most of my fitness and mindset, and decision making, I don't want to say trump my family. That is absolutely not what I'm trying to say. Family comes first. Always my family, and then maybe snowboarding. I'm joking a little bit, but absolutely love the snowboard. It's what pushes me to continue to stay fit. It's what, just being up in the mountains in the snow. It's just, there's nothing like being present on top of a mountain and looking around and just seeing the 360-degree, just mountains everywhere and open space, and just being present in that moment, is something I'm passionate about. And hopefully you've have something passionate like that in your life, and can use that to motivate you and help keep you accountable towards your health and fitness goals. So that's why I like to bring it up, because I absolutely just love it. And having something like that to keep me grounded and to keep me motivated is super important. And hopefully maybe something we can find for you. Other hobbies that I like to do, love to go fishing, hunting as well, not as much anymore. Don't really have as much time as I used to, but would love to get back into doing some hunting. Um, and then fitness. Fitness is probably my third hobby. So snowboarding, hunting, fishing, and then fitness. Fitness is my job, but it's also one of my favorite hobbies. I work out 5, 6, sometimes 7 days a week. Not very often for 7 days a week, but most of the time, at least 5, 6 days a week. What that looks like completely changes throughout the year, depending on what I have going on, what my goals are. So my training changes up, month to month, year to year, week to week, depending on my goals, but I absolutely love to train hard, and be fit and healthy and be able to just enjoy life and, yeah, all that good stuff that's what I want to be able to provide to you. So that brings me to my mission statement. Why, now that you understand who I am and what I do, why did I start this podcast? And it's a great question. So the title, Total Health and Fitness, right, is exactly what I want to provide to you. So my mission is to provide you useful and actionable information on health, fitness, nutrition, and longevity. Right? I want to be able to take all that information that is out there online and try to condense it down into usable, actionable steps that you can actually use to improve your health and fitness and longevity, right? There's just so much nonsense out there on the internet right now. I don't even know how to explain it. They're just saying stuff because they heard it somewhere else, and so they think it's true, and so they repeat it. They have no education, they have no background, they don't read research, they aren't reading books. They're just regurgitating information from other influencers because they saw that post got a million likes, and so they're going to repeat it and regurgitate it, and hopefully they get a million likes, even though they have no clue about the topic, understand the underlying physiology or mechanisms that actually create the outcome that we're looking for. And so, yeah, that was a lot of just nonsense that I guess I'm ranting on, but that's what you're going to get from me is science. You're going to get peer reviewed research, randomized controlled trials. Like, we're talking like legitimate, research backed, evidence backed, information that is going to help you push the needle towards your goals. I'm not going to give you any BS. I'm not going to, regurgitate something that I heard on the internet just because I think it sounds cool. Like, I'm going to give you the information that are legit going to get you the results that you're looking for, and nothing else. And if I don't have research or super solid anecdotal, evidence of it working, then I'm going to tell you that, or I'm not going to even bring it up on the show. So, again, yeah, I want to provide you with no nonsense, actionable, useful health, fitness, nutrition, and longevity information. So some topics that I'm going to touch on throughout the podcast are everything fitness. So how to get stronger, how to build muscle, how to be more explosive, how to be athletic. Um, Health topics such as diabetes, blood sugar regulation, insulin sensitivity, um, heart disease, cardiovascular disease, or obesity, weight loss, anything in that world of health that is going to help you live a healthier and happier life. We're going to talk about it. Wellness, mental health, mental toughness, mindfulness, meditation, anything wellness related. And then nutrition, we're going to talk macros. We're going to talk about all the different types of diets that are out there and why they work and why some of them don't work and why some of them might work for you and not for somebody else. We're going to talk keto. We're going to talk paleo. We're going to talk carnivore. We're going to talk all the nutrition stuff that you've heard of and are wondering about and need more information about to help you make the best decisions on what nutrition, what diet, what exercise is best for you. We're going to talk recovery. We're going to talk heat and cold exposure, mobility, flexibility, all the wellness stuff, mobility stuff, anything that is going to, again, help drive the needle, make you feel better, look better, have a better mood, live a happier life. We're going to talk about it. And so that brings me then to the 2023 mantra. So for 2023, well, I'm going to even back up. 2022, my mantra, it came, it might even been more than just 2022. It might have been a little bit longer than that. Towards the end of the pandemic, I definitely was struggling a little bit with some anxiety, maybe even I guess I'll call it a little bit of depression. The lockdown was hard for everybody. It definitely was it was a lot. It was hard. And so as part of that, I really started to reflect on myself and what's most valuable to me and how I can be happy and healthy. And the mantra that I picked then was, this too shall pass. And I'm sure you've heard of that saying, and it's such a powerful statement. And I don't think people truly understand what it means. And in its simplest form is that, yes, this too shall pass. So when you have a hard time, or you're having a hard time, you're down, you're low, understanding that, yes, this is going to pass. The bad times will go away and good times will come back. And that was the main focus that I had on it as well. And that anytime that I might be depressed or worried about something, that, hey, you know what, this feeling, this anxiety, this depression, it's going to pass. Good times will come back. And just that mindset flip, generally helps flip the switch and get me back into a better mood and put some of that anxiety behind me. And that was great and useful. I think the other part of that saying, though, that this too shall pass, is understanding that everything in life has ebbs and flows, right? So there's going to be good times and bad times, and not only do the bad times pass, but so do the good times. So when things are good and things are high, be present and reflect on those times and really enjoy them, but understand that, darker times are going to come, hard times are going to come. You're going to have to do hard things to get back to the good times. So just don't ever get too comfortable, and realize that, this too shall pass, regardless if it's a good thing or a bad thing. There's always going to be ups and downs. There's always going to be ebbs and flows. So that's what this too shall pass meant to me. And it was a really good mantra, and I will continue to use it. But the mantra, or my saying of the year for 2023, is do hard things. So it's very related to this too shall pass, right? So understanding that, yes, even though maybe things are going really well for me right now, if I want to continue to do well and continue to get better and push the needle in whatever fathom of life that is, if it's business, if it's my health, if it's my performance, it doesn't matter what it is. To get better and to continue to push the needle, you have to do hard things. That's my mantra. So anytime I don't want to do something this year, I'm going to look in the mirror and I'm going to say, do hard things, right? Um, it, we don't get better by doing easy things over and over again. We have to get outside of our comfort zone. We have to push the needle. We have to do hard things that are going to make us better. So one of the big hard things that I started doing that kind of led me to this mantra was taking the cold showers. I did a post on this about my experience, and honestly, taking that 90-second cold shower every morning, it's hard. It's not something I want to do, especially this past week, whenever it was like 10 degrees outside and the water coming out of the pipes couldn't have been much, more than like 40 degrees. I mean, it was cold. It was bone chilling cold coming out. And you know what? Every morning I looked in the mirror and I said, you know what, Adam, you're going to do hard things. So getting in that cold shower for 90 seconds, forcing myself to do it, sets me up with the mindset that, you know what, the rest of the day, I'm going to do hard things. So when I don't want to do something, you got to do it anyway, because you got to do hard things. This can be your mantra as well, but this is what the podcast is going to be about this year. It's doing hard things, doing them consistently, locking them down as habits, making them part of your routine. And once they're part of your routine, it's not even that hard to do anymore, because you just do it. It's on repeat. You don't even have to think about it. You don't have to make that choice anymore, because every morning when I wake up, the next thing I do is make coffee. And then after that, I get in a cold shower. So do hard things. That's the mantra. If you don't want to do it, you probably should. And if you do, you're probably going to get better. It's going to push the needle. So cool. Yeah, do hard things. That is the mantra. Last thing then I wanted to talk about today. So we talked about me, gave you my mission about the podcast, touched on a few of the topics that we'll get into, and shared my mantra. So the last thing I want to rant about is biohacking. Some of you may know what it is, some of you may not. So basically, biohacking to me means, it's a shortcut. It's a way to get your body to perform without actually having to do a hard thing. So it's literally the opposite of my mantra, right? So for example, What's a good example? We're gonna biohack our way to fitness through using the sauna. So that's a big one, and that's where it kind of came from. Was sitting in the sauna, and a lot of college kids are home right now over break, and so they're 18 to 22-year-olds that are sitting in the sauna with me, which is great. I love it. You have the mindset that you want to get better. You're in the gym, right? But I just have this feeling that the sauna isn't what's going to push you, push the needle as much as you think, right? The sauna is like the icing on the cake. The cake or the foundation is your fitness, your sleep, and your nutrition. I have a feeling that most of you, if I know most 18 to 22-year-olds, which again, I worked at a Division III college for 15 years, I think I know 18 to 22-year-olds. Most of you probably aren't sleeping enough. I would say most of you probably eat junk, and probably aren't getting enough protein. And I would say you're probably not working hard enough in the gym. Not saying that I shouldn't say that about everybody, but I guarantee that 20, 30 minutes that you spent in the sauna could have been spent doing something more productive that's actually going to push the needle. So maybe that's food prepping. Maybe that's going and getting a recovery shake and getting some protein after your workout. Maybe that's catching up on some work or doing something so that way you're not up until midnight, so that way you can go to sleep and get a good night's rest. There's so many foundational things and just basics that you have to have locked down before biohacking or some of these other more luxurious methods, I guess we'll call them. That's not a good word, but some of these more lucrative methods are really going to be beneficial, right? So the sauna is not the greatest example because I do think it's beneficial regardless if you have everything locked down. Especially for those people who maybe can't work out. I think the sauna is a great alternative to, aerobic fitness. Is it actually going to make you fit? No, but is it going to give you some of the benefits of aerobic fitness, such as, endothelial cell elasticity, making the blood vessels relax a little bit? You get this increase in nitric oxide. You get an increase in heart rate. So you get all these training benefits from the sauna that you would traditionally get from aerobic fitness. So for those people who can't do aerobic fitness, the sauna could be a healthy alternative. However, if you are healthy enough to exercise, that shouldn't be your alternative, right? Like if you're sitting in the sauna and you're 40, 50 pounds overweight, like, dude, just go back on the gym or go back out on the gym floor, get on the bike and do an extra 20 minutes of cardio, or go home and food prep. Again, there's just so many more things that you could do other than the sauna that is going to push the needle and actually make you healthy. Stop trying to take the shortcuts. Stop trying to do the easy thing, aka sit in the sauna. And try to biohack your way to health and longevity, right? So again, you can't be drinking every day, all day, all weekend, and smashing bags of Doritos and then maybe playing some racquetball and getting in the sauna and thinking that that's going to be enough to really push the needle in any direction for health and longevity. Just to me, that's just not how it works. You got to have your foundations. You got to have your fitness. You got to have your body composition, and you got to have your nutrition and sleep locked down. And then you can start dabbling in different supplements. You can start dabbling with sauna, hot and cold exposure, all these other methods that are really going to put the icing on the cake and really help push the needle once you have the foundations locked down. So yeah, that's kind of what I wanted to rant about a little bit today for episode 1. We will be hopefully releasing a new podcast every week. Some podcasts will be a deeper dive into topics, really in depth, a little bit longer. Some podcasts will be how I'll bring some guests on that are experts in a field or on a topic and bring them in to interview and discuss those topics. And then other ones will be a little bit shorter and just me ranting about different health, fitness, and nutrition related topics to, again, help provide you some useful and actionable information. I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, please like, follow, and comment below. And until next time, I'm Adam Richmond, and this was the Total Health and Fitness Podcast.